This is Captain Cook's Voyages by various authors published by the Folio Society. So let's have a look at this. Now, like all Folio Society books, it comes in a slipcase, or almost all of them, I guess. So let's have a look at that real quick. It's pretty simple. It's just black paper on the outside, white paper on the inside. Basically, nothing else to look at there. Pretty boring, pretty basic, even for a Folio Society slipcase. Pretty simple. It does have this little curved cutout on the edge, but that's not too interesting. So we're about done with the slipcase. Now on to the actual book. Now this book is, for a Folio Society book, this is a pretty nice looking book, I gotta say. The cover design is very good. It's bound in this dark blue, I believe it's buckram. It's got that sort of rough cloth feel that tells me it's buckram. And on the front, we have this design. I'm guessing that the black is inked on, and then we have the gold embossed accents, which are very nice. You can see the background of the title, Captain Cook's Voyages, 1968 to 1768 to 1779. We have a little sun, then a couple, the ends of their guns, stuff like that. Pretty nice looking cover though, I gotta say. It's part of a series, I believe, not technically a series, but a bunch of other books of similar designs that are all about the same topics, like adventure, historical fiction type books. Now the spine is also pretty nice looking. You can see we have Captain Cook's Voyages title once again, but then there's this nice design with I think it's a palm tree, and then the pirate ship, well, the old 1700 ship, not a pirate ship, I guess, and then the anchor, and I can barely fit it in the frame, but you can see Folio stamped in gilt at the bottom. And then the back cover is just plain. Now the top edge is also stained blue, which I like. It's that same dark blue as the covers. And then the side and bottom edges are trimmed, but plain white. That's about all for the book's exterior. Now moving on to the inside, we have these end papers, which are maps of his voyages, which I really like. They're printed on this pretty nice, decent cardstock. Nothing too special though. I do like how they also, what would you say? They tinted them blue to match the covers. Very nice. Now on the title page, here we are. We have the title page with the frontispiece, and the frontispiece is actually printed on a different type of paper. I don't know if you can see that on camera, but it's the glossy photo paper that makes the picture of Captain Cook really pop. And then we have the information here. So it's selected and introduced by Glyndwr Williams. I guess it's not, maybe it is various authors. I'm not exactly sure. Or maybe it's his writings. I don't know. We'll find out, I guess. And this is the Folio Society from 1997. So a pretty decently recent Folio Society book. Not too recent, but closer to the modern day than the beginnings of the Folio Society. It's typeset in monotype Baskerville by Gloucester. Yeah, Gloucester typesetting services, printed by St. Edmundsbury Press on Caxton wove paper, bound in buckram. That's what this blue cloth is on the outside, as I predicted, with a binding design by David Eccles. This is the 7th printing from 2003. Here's the contents. The first voyage, the second voyage, the third voyage, and then he dies in the fourth voyage, or the third voyage. Then we have an afterword, further reading, glossary, and index, and a list of illustrations. Would you look at that? Oh wow, that's a lot of them. So we have a whole page of color plates. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 of those, and those will look something like this on the photo paper. But then we have many black and white ones. Oh, there's 2 more color ones that I missed. What does that bring it up to? 19? I don't know. I can't remember. Black and white illustrations. You can see we have a full 2 pages of them. Very nice. Couple maps right there. And like with I usually do in nonfiction books since they have so many illustrations. I kind of skip through a lot of them, so we're not going to dwell too long on any of them. Here's one of those color plates or whatever they would call them. Oh, I guess they do them front and back. That makes sense. Joseph Banks and the Red Paper Bark Tree. Very nice. Another one of those. The Warboats of the Island of Otaheite. I don't know. Sorry if I butcher any of the names in this book. Okay, so it looks like they also do the black and white ones, front and back, like right here. Now, they do have 4 of them on one page or leaf, I guess you would call it. So they're not, the book's not going to seem like there's that many illustrations because they're all going to be condensed onto certain pages, right? So here's another one. Look at that. We have another 4 on this page. War Canoe of New Zealand. A map of New Zealand. Very nice. Here's more of them. Ice Islands. I like that one a lot. Dusky Bay, New Zealand. The Resolution and Adventure in Matavai, I don't know. Matavai Bay, Tahiti. A view of the monuments of Easter Island. Landing at Tana, New... Oh, I'm just going to stop reading the captions. A view of the Cape of Good Hope. There we go. I can do that one. More of those black and white ones. Gonna skip through most of these black and white ones just because there's so many. That might be it for the color illustrations. I don't see any... Oh, nope. There we go. A view in Ship Cove, Nootka Sound. And the death of Captain Cook, of course. Is that him? Maybe that's him. I don't know. Who knows? If you read this, you'll probably know. And then that's about all for this book. Of course, at the back, we have the further reading and the glossary that explains all these words, tells you how to pronounce them as well, and a little index at the back. And then at the back, we have, I believe, the same end papers as the front. Yes, we do. So there we go. That is all for the Voyages of Captain Cook. This is a pretty nice book. If you are a fan of this type of historical fiction, I would definitely recommend a book like this. Folio Society does pretty well with their historical fiction. Or, wow, I've called it historical fiction the whole time. My fault. Nonfiction, historical nonfiction. Wow. Errata all of the times I've said historical fiction. This is historical nonfiction or nonfiction history, whatever you want to call it. Historical nonfiction. If you're interested in this type of stuff, the Folio Society does really well with their historical fiction, nonfiction. Wow. Oh my goodness. You get what I mean though? Folio Society does really well with this genre, historical nonfiction. They are really well illustrated. The covers are really well designed. They're very nice on your shelves. So if this is the type of thing that floats your boat, not my type of stuff, but if it's the type of stuff that you enjoy, then this is definitely an excellent addition that I would recommend. That's all, and have a good one.